Welcome to F.O.S.T. I'm your host, Aaron Flowers. I hope you're having a wonderful day on this beautiful Tuesday evening. School is back for us here in the great state of Delaware. Oh man, it's a lot to get into today, but I'm just going to basically, let me pull my mic over here a little bit on one end of this camera today. But basically, I'm going to go over some of the splashes. This is F.O.S.T. flat splash. Um, F.O.S.T. stands for Fans Only Sports Talk. We're talking about things, well, I'm talking about things that is relative in the NFL and what's happening in the NFL. Like, at least I think it's relative in the NFL, really talking about some college stuff, some 100 picks. We're talking about some things that transpired with Jerry Jones, and we kind of hit on it on Saturday about the Jerry Jones situation and how with Michael Parsons and things of that nature. We alluded to it. We got in depth in detail about certain things. So you know, it is what it is. Michael Parsons got a new home. Also, we got a new number one. Rock that number one, Parsons. But the real number one is Jalen Hurts. Psych. I'm not gonna say psych. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm gonna always say Jalen Hurts. But we know Cam rocked the number one too, and there's plenty others that rock the number one. But now Michael Parsons went from 11 to 1. So hey, he figured I guess the 11 was already taken. He rocked the number one, which I ain't mad at you. And we'll get into Michael Parsons in a few. Um, for those that is listening to F.O.S.T., we do not own the copyrights to any music. We are not journalists. We are not professional sports athletes. We are just fans talking about the sport that we love. And that sport right now is football for the NFL. I always go and think about the NFL and I think about what it stands for, National Football League, of course. But I always say not for long. There's the other thing I say, but I'm going to leave that to myself. All right, let's get into it. All righty. Let's talk about it. All right, we see the top 100s. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. Top 100s. And I watch this all the time, every offseason, try to figure out precisely who is where and why they're there and what they have contributed to the team. So from 100 to 1. And I'm going to go over the first 10 today. And this is just me talking about it in Splash. Other people may have their own opinion about, the top 100s. It is what it is. Like I said, we all are opinionated. We all are biased about certain things and certain players. That's what we do. I mean, we're fans. So, of course, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, my team should have been number one or should have been higher on the list. Should have been this, should have been that. Hey, this is what we call good debate. So, if we're going to sit up there and talk about teams or players, remember this. Everybody has an opinion. Now, the other saying is everybody got a a-hole, so hey, stuff gonna come out of it, plain and simple. But talking about the first 100, which I really don't have too much of a problem with the first 100. I thought Tua Tagovailoa, this is just my thoughts, should have been a little bit higher. He shouldn't have been in the first, one top, the first bottom part of the 100. I really thought that he'd probably be maybe 40, you know. Um, and it could be due to injuries and it could be due to his team sucking, but we're talking about individuality. Tua Tagovailoa, uh, yeah, and maybe I got another problem too on this list too. Um, I just looked down here and I seen my boy Josh Sweat at 95. Yeah, yeah, that's all I can say. Is my opinion. You know, Josh Sweat at 95 is ridiculous, but hey, that's what they thought of Josh Sweat. Sam Laporta at 94, he balled out for the Lions. Come on, man. Um, the rest of it seems cool, I guess. Aaron Jones, uh, up and down year, not really. I think Aaron Jones could be. I like him. Like Aaron Jones, I really do. Um, I think that he's in a position with the Vikings to be something special. Not saying that he wasn't when he was with, I believe, Green Bay. So when you look at Aaron Jones, I mean, did he fall off a little bit? I don't, just a tad bit, but there's just three of them that's on this list that I would just say they could have been higher. Um, they could have been higher. And so when I look at the next list on next week or Splash, I'm gonna go into more detail about it because then I can see who's over top of them, and then I'll debate that. Right now I can't debate it until I see who's over top of them. Now, a lot of you have already seen the top 100s, which I have myself, but I want to talk about it in my thoughts and my point of view of it because due to the fact that this is fans only sports talk, and so it gives me a perspective to give you a perspective of what in the world I was thinking of, you know, or what in the world that they were thinking of, putting them at that kind of, you know, putting them on that type of list. Like, yo, but like I said, it is what it is. This is other people's thoughts on, you know, who should be ranked where. Do they get paid extra for getting ranked at these places? I don't know. I don't think so. If they do, man, I would be upset if I was ranked near 100 and I balled out like I was, in the top 20. That's just me. And that's just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. All right. Micah Parsons sporting the number one. I talked about this earlier. I talked about some things about Michael Parsons, which we talked about this on F.O.S.T. on Saturday. And we talked about how Jerry Jones went about it, how Parsons went about it, who would benefit from it. And I think Cam Newton said that we won't know if Dallas benefits from it until 2 or 3 years later because of the pick. And he thought that Jerry was more focused and he had a great plan or a great idea for it. Now, for Michael Parsons being in the Green Bay Packers and being traded to the Green Bay Packers, I believe the Packers is not instantly a Super Bowl team, but he adds more power to that defensive line, meaning that, look, not only you got to worry about him, you have to worry about their defensive tackle. You got to worry about another defensive end. And what makes him so great is this. You can put Micah Parsons anywhere on that line and he will show dividends. You got to know where used to be number 11, now it's number 1, is, because due to the fact that he causes chaos for the quarterback. Jerry Jones' thing was, hey, I got a kid. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. And I don't think he did Parsons any justice by saying, it makes it seem like he couldn't stop the run. That's what makes it seem like to me. But we go out there and we get this other kid, and he had a fall-off year. The kid that they traded for to get Michael Parsons had a fall-off year. So when you look at the fall-off year that he had, and then now you're trading him for an elite caliber player, and hold on, a first-round draft pick for the next 2 years. Yo, Jerry knows how to select talent. You know, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys is this. On paper, the Dallas Cowboys should be Super Bowl champions all the time. All the time, in the thick of things. It's just something about Dallas that just can't get them over that notch. I'm not going to blame it on Dak Prescott all the time. I think it's mostly coaching, and trying to get him to be one of those elite caliber quarterbacks when it's playoff time. And so when you see Dak Prescott during the regular season, he's lights out. So, will they miss Michael Parsons? Yes. Another thing is this. All this drama that comes out after Michael Parsons leave and all this stuff being said about Michael Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys, you know what? The drama is sickening. It's really sickening. Y'all can't tell me that this young man was not the anchor to your defense, and how he walked up and down the sidelines trying to motivate, even saying things that he knew was not probably even possible, but he kept inspiring, encouraging his teammates. And so if that's the case, Michael Parsons showed that he's a good teammate. I don't see anything different about Michael Parsons. Now, this whole thing was chaotic from the time Jerry Jones started talking. I mean, once Jerry started talking, that's when it got chaotic. And who loves chaos? Jerry Jones. JJ just loves chaos. He loves the drama. That makes me say something else that's in my mind, but I had to pause because if I say it, people might get offended, Basically, women might get offended. If I say he acting like a woman in one of these drama series, the Dallas Cowboys is like Dallas, the series. Anybody that's older know about Dallas, about JR. That's what Dallas Cowboys remind me of. That sitcom called Dallas. And I think it was Knots Landing. What was the other one that was Dynasty? Yeah. Dynasty and Dallas. That's what I think about when I think about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. We did see Michael Parsons in practice with the Green Bay Packers. He looked really energetic, looked like he was really ready for the new season to start. Looked like he was happy to be with Green Bay. It seems like Green Bay was happy to have him. I know I would have been happy to have him, but Jerry, if you was going to trade him to Philadelphia Eagles, probably would have been like the Giants GM, sick to his stomach because Philadelphia took him. Well, Jerry's not going to make that mistake, so he's going to make a bigger mistake. You're going to send him, excuse me, to a team that that bottom. Smack that behind real good. That's what you did, Jerry. You sent them to the Green Bay Packers, which now probably knows your defensive schemes. And so when you see Green Bay again, guess what's going to happen? All day long, all day long. So, and Micah's a smart dude. He understands the concepts of defense. When you hear him on his podcast, hey, Micah, very knowledgeable dude. Very knowledgeable dude. So it's going to be interesting to see week 4. I think it's week 4 that they play the Green Bay Packers. We actually play them in week 10. But I'm going to chalk that as an L, Dallas. You know who's going to be the next Texas team? The next Texan team is going to be the Texans. Jerry's going to have to do something to fill them seats because all the fans is going to stop wearing that star and go ahead and wear that bull because they know that the Cowboys is full of leave it alone. Now, Bill Belichick, TCU. I said we was going to get into some of the college stuff. This is some of the college stuff that I was talking about getting into. Just interesting to see that TCU put the smackdown on North Carolina. It's like, what was it, 48-10 or something like that? Let me check the score on here. I think it was like 48-10. 48-14. Woo! Man, Bill, that was a rough start, bruh. That was a real rough start. We expect Bill Belichick to be that dude and get everybody ready and, defensive minded. Now, I don't know about the talent because I don't look at college football like talking about, but the talent probably maybe is not there, and Bill has to work with what he has. It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out and how I'm sorry, let me go back. And how this team is going to respond. It's yeah. It's weird. I'm trying to get the video to come up, but I guess the video has not came up. Give me a minute. Nope, the video won't come up. I was hoping that the video would actually come up and I can see or show you some of the highlights of this game because it was like turnover after turnover after turnover. And you go, dang, when does the bleeding stop? Can y'all please just wave the white flag? And Bill's face was in disgust. I mean, he was disgusted, hurt, and it hurt me to watch the highlights to that thing. I was like, great day. I'm like, dude, stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. Just get him off the field. Somebody help. Help me. Help me. That's how I should have said. Help me. Help me now. Help me, please. Because that was ridiculous. But everybody knows TCU is one of those teams that you got to beat, I guess. And North Carolina's on a rebuild. I mean, sometimes we start off slow, And I want to just tell Bill, Bill Belichick, we fell down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. All right. So, Bill, Please, man, get them boys to get up because that was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Like so embarrassing. Um, let me see. Full layout. Let me see. Nope. I can't get it to play. All right. Next slide here is, let me pull this up so everybody can see this. Now, this kid was let go, released by the Bucks. Defensive tackle Desmond Watson. He was 449 pounds. They was trying to get him to come down from his weight. And he was actually, I wish I can get this to play. Oops. Let me go back. Won't play. So I'll figure that out because I really need these videos to play for me. Yeah, Desmond Watson, 449 pounds. He was 446 coming in, and 464 pounds was his heaviest weight. And he was let go because they were trying to get him to drop down his weight. He was actually leg pressing, I believe, 700 pounds. And maybe they see something, like I said, this is fans only sports talk. They see something that we don't see. And this kid, you you drafting, you bring him in. He was a wrecking crew with being at 400 and something pounds, and you're asking him to lose weight. Now, I don't know if there is a guideline or there's supposed to be something to health wise for him, but he seemed in college to maintain his his weight and be productive at the same time. Otherwise, you wouldn't pick it. But I'm either here nor there. My thing is, you picked him up in order to change him. Now you think that he can just lose that weight and eat properly instantly. No, that is a process. I wish y'all would have took time out with this kid because he, obviously y'all saw something in him. Obviously he performed in such a way that y'all picked him up, and now all of a sudden that he's not losing the weight, you're saying, well, we got to let him go. Okay, I just want to put things in this perspective. You know, losing weight is not easy, and if he does take Ozempic or whatever those other Zeppa Pro or whatever it is, I think Shannon Sharp said this on Club Shay Shay. He'll lose muscle strength if he takes those kind of supplements in order to lose weight. So he has to lose weight gradually. He can't just lose weight drastically, and think that he's going to be productive. Just like if you ask a skinny person to put on more weight and he was fast at first and now he's a little bit slower, it's because he done probably lost the weight too fast and he doesn't have the muscle mass in order to build up the speed that he had before. So my thing is this: if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Now, if the kid was doing what he was doing in college and it made y'all look at him, take the time to develop the kid. That is coaching. So what? He's 450 something pounds. Let him gradually lose the weight. Put him in key like moments of stopping the run and things of that nature. While he's exercising and getting himself together. I really hope another team will take the time out with this kid. To have so much talent and just not be used because of his weight or size, I think is ludicrous. That's why we have trainers. That's why we have coaches. That's why we have, you know, uh, health people that helps them eat, you know, build muscle. This kid to me would be a jewel for somebody. Out of the 32 teams, one of them let him go. So I just think that the other 31 teams should take a look at this kid and try to do something for him. Now, he may not be a finished product right away, but check this out. Give him a chance. You're asking him to lose weight and within like a training camp or within the time that you drafted him till the time it's time to start playing football. Doesn't work like that. I mean, not football, but starting of the season. It just doesn't work like that. And if somebody is doing that, they're going through excruciating what you call regiments. The man's 400 and he was 460 something pounds. It doesn't go overnight. You have to build a regiment for him. And sometimes what happens is if you don't have the right trainers involved, it can turn into muscle and he still be 400 something pounds. Just should have gave this brother another chance. That's all. Should have gave him a chance. And so the Buccaneers also let him go. They let Shiloh go. I think the Bucks is on the let goes. I know you have to cut your roster down to 53 men, but you also have a practice squad. You could have put this kid on the practice squad and developed him. That's all I'm saying. Now, oh man, Stephen A. I really wish I could play this, man. Stephen A. was talking about our boy Arch Manning. Let me see. Can I pull the video file? Let me see if I can pull the video file up. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Trying to see if I have any video, if I could pull the video file up, and it won't let me. Um, it's ringing on my phone. Do 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 do. Yeah, it won't let me pull up a video file. The video file is basically, let's see if I can go to Google Drive. Nope, it's not on there. Hmm. 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 See here. Man, that plucks my plucker. It really plucks my plucker. Because when I downloaded this, I saw the video. She didn't download. Mm, interesting. Mm-mm. Oh man, can't even view the page source on that one. Alrighty. Well, say the least. I was hoping that I could pull the file up. See if I can share the screen with Arch Manning. Manning. And it's hard to live up under someone else's shadow. When you look at Arch Manning and how he played, I think the expectation was a little high for Arch Manning and those guys. Um, and he made some mistakes. I mean, we expect that. Excuse me for the commercials and stuff. Hold on for just a second. Pause this thing. And a broader view of this. Because I really want to hear what Stephen A. Smith said about this, and see if I can share my screen here. There we go. Hopefully you can see my screen up here. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the Arch Manning.
Tries to take off and run, but he's hit hard.
I got to play better for us to win.
Well, we had opportunities to score points. We just didn't quite make the plays we wanted to make.
Arch Manning cannot get into the set up the right side of the field. It's intercepted.
Can't have those turnovers. Got to get back to square one and go prepare for San Jose State.
After a weekend like that in college football, you knew we would be laboring with you this morning, but it's light work. We only have an hour. So grateful to have my guy, Paul Feinbaum, in the house. It's been so long. We're going to have a lot of fun. Buckle up for another season. And of course, the one and only Stephen A. Smith and our MVP, Cam Newton. Good morning, guys. I'm going to roll right through it because we only have that hour, and I want to dive into as much as we can. So we start with that much anticipated matchup between Texas and Ohio State. Texas quarterback Arch Manning failed to live up to his lofty expectations in his starting debut Saturday at Ohio State, but Longhorns coach Steve Sarkisian called the 14-7 loss just one chapter in Manning's season. With scouts from more than a dozen NFL teams watching Arch, he completed 17 of 30 passes for 170 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Paul, you had very high praise for Arch earlier this summer. Let's flash back.
I think there's a reasonably good chance that Arch Manning will be sitting on the front row in New York at the Heisman ceremony. That's assuming that his team does what it's supposed to do and compete for not only the SEC, but for the national championship. And I really believe they will. I believe also that Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback we have seen.
Production.
Get the right care right away. Because life Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
And staff for that. I want to distance myself from pulling that sound for you. No, I'm just messing.
Blame me.
Paul,
I was going to ask for it too.
Paul, tell me this. Do you feel like Arch is the biggest reason they lost?
I'm not getting away from what I said because I think it's the stupidest thing I've said maybe since I doubted Cam Newton before his final season at Auburn. But it is, I base it on a lot of hype. I base it on a lot of comments from people, and clearly it was wrong. But Arch Manning wasn't the reason Texas lost. As pedestrian and as awful as he was, I blame it on Steve Sarkisian. He is supposed to be one of the preeminent play callers in America, and he was not. He was completely out-schemed and outmaneuvered on the other side. And that's not a one-off. It happened against the very same team in January at the Cotton Bowl. Remember that final possession? Texas is down by 7. They're on the 3-yard line, first down, and they end up giving up a scoop and score going the other way because Sarkisian just completely came undone. So I'm worried about that part of it. Arch did not handle the moment either, Molly, and that concerns me because I thought he was going to walk out there with swagger. He was built for this moment. He was not. I think he can still be a great quarterback, but he's not one yet.
Stephen A.
Amen. He's not one yet, and that's really the thing that needs to be said here. I'm not stressing over one game. It's just one game. I still expect him to have an illustrious collegiate career. I still expect him to be a big-time pick in the NFL draft. I get all of that, but he did not look good Saturday afternoon. No question about that. Now you're going up against the reigning defending and national champions in their house, so obviously that's tough. But Texas came into the game having won 11 straight road games, so this should not have been. I'm not saying that they should have won or lost, but they certainly should have put forth a better offensive performance. But I'm with you, Paul. I put most of the blame on Sarkisian more so than I put it on Arch Manning.
And so it goes back to me saying this when it comes to quarterbacks that comes out of college, a lot of expectations. Now, the game to me, what I seen on the field, 14-7, okay. He didn't get blown out, but it always goes back to coaching. Always go back to coaching. Now, I think Stephen A. Smith said it just as clear. This is something not to panic over, but I want you to put it in this kind of perspective with Arch Manning. We got Peyton Manning, 2-time Super Bowl winning, one of the best quarterbacks that we have ever seen when it comes to audibly knowing the plays, reading defense. It seemed like Peyton Manning was the coach on the field, all right? And it is the expectations that can cripple these young guys. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at elite players, and then they have siblings or they have, sons that comes up behind them, LeBron James, Bronny James, you see is a lot of pressure put on these younger athletes that had father figures, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles that been in the league and did such a great careers, had such a great career, and they were prolific in what they did, meaning that they understood the game. They played at a very high level. Some of the levels that they played, when you talk about Deion Sanders, and you look at Shiloh Sanders, and you look at his other son that's in Cleveland, all right. You look at those guys, and are they going to measure up to Dad's expectations? Dad wearing a gold jacket, he's in the Hall of Fame. You know, it's so much pressure put on him. Then you look at Eli Manning. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls against the GOAT, Tom Brady. You know, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, I think Peyton Manning probably would have had 2 or 3 more Super Bowls. There's a lot of speculations about that. But Eli and that Giants defense beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. And so when you look at Arch Manning, you look at that history of that family, you go, well, we expect Arch Manning to be like one of them. Matter of fact, people are hanging their hats. You just saw the video on one of the commentators putting Arch Manning as a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. You know, just pressure. I wish they would allow these guys to just play and stop using these players as a platform to sell a story or get you to watch their show. I just think Arch Manning just need time. And in the right system and right coaching, he can be awesome. He can be awesome. I would really love to see Peyton Manning become a coach in the collegiate level. I think he would be one of those coaches that can teach these quarterbacks what to see in the defense, how to read defenses, how to maneuver, how to audible out, show timing passes, how to throw the arc ball. I think Peyton Manning would be one of those coaches that will get a regular quarterback, a good quarterback, or an average quarterback to an elite level. That's just my thoughts. You know, Peyton just seems like that he's one of those dudes. And, you know, Arch, you know, he may had a rough game, but it's not a blowout like Bill Belichick. All right. Thank y'all for watching F.O.S.T. On F.O.S.T, you can actually check our F.O.S.T page, Fans Only Sports Talk page on Facebook. We will have all the picks listed up on the page. You can see who picked who. It'll be listed up today. Now, since we have all the picks in, and week 1 begins September 4th with my Philadelphia Eagles going against the Dallas Cowboys. And they're playing in Philadelphia. Oh, man, it's going to be a blast. They're going to have the banner drop. I think Meek Mills is going to be in attendance. I know the tickets it was crazy trying to get those tickets. You know, even in the nosebleed section, you was paying $500 and something dollars just to stand. You was paying $500 and something dollars. You know, but this is the price you pay when your team makes it to the Super Bowl. Because now you see all the stars, you see the best games. Everybody's coming at you. So with that being said, thank you for watching F.O.S.T. You can also catch us on iHeart Radio. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are now all over. So if you want to hear me, you know, and my counterparts talk some trash or talk some good stuff, please come see us on F.O.S.T. Like I said, this is Fans Only Sports Talk. Thank you for watching. Peace.